Hello and welcome to EDA 715. My name is Paul Wertz, and I'm pleased to be the instructor for this course this summer. It's a course I enjoy very much because I think it's very important that we understand. The name of the course is Education Leader or Principal as Facilitator, Leveraging Community Systems and Resources. Basically, it's talking about the understanding that we have to have as education leaders that schools are an integral part of the community and that schools reflect and define the community. And our job as school leaders and community leaders is to make that connection. Just to frame that for you a little bit of my early experience with parent involvement in community connections started in my first year, and I remember the first parent conferences we had. I was in a school that was K-8, and we had parent conferences all in the gymnasium. Every teacher had a table and their pile of goodies. And as a middle school social studies teacher at that time, I had the potential of meeting with, over a 2-day period, 120 parents. Intimidating, not conducive to building relationships and partnerships, just sort of a in and out kind of a process. And so that was my introduction. A little bit later that year, the principal approached several of us and said, our physical education program, we don't have a teacher, and we need to build it up. It's not sufficient. And so what we were asked to do is make a connection in the community to build this. So that's what we did. We contacted and hunted down some quality curriculum from the local university, and we also reached out to the community, and the result was an all-volunteer physical education program. And we also were able to get about 90% of the resources of the equipment for the physical education program from the community, from families, from parents, and was very surprising to me. Again, something I hadn't been a part of before, and was very excited when we introduced the program to the school and to the community and families. It was a celebration of something that hadn't been there, that was, I guess, never there, and we were able to, with the help and input of the community, able to make it happen. I began to see what the potential was. It hasn't always been that way, and some of you may have that experience. I know in the 80s and 90s there were a series of studies done in North Carolina, public school studies done in North Carolina, where they interviewed thousands of parents and found that the majority of them said they were not welcome in the school. And I think that we have some experience of that even yet today, but certainly back then, we know that it's important that the role of parents and families and the community in the successful education of each child and all children is significant, and this course will help to define that and talk about strategies for making that happen. While I was, as a beginning teacher, I was taking educational psychology and realized that the struggling middle schoolers that I was working with, if I was going to help middle schoolers, I needed to start earlier. So I switched from a middle school educator to an early childhood educator, and began to work, of course, in early childhood settings. My first job was kindergarten. I was a team member of a large kindergarten classroom, several classrooms, and we what was there I had seen before and was well planned and already implemented, that every family had to spend a day in the school during the year making a contribution in the classroom during the year, making a contribution to the kindergarten program. And it was very cool, very enriching. Interesting things happened. One of the fathers brought in a camper and taught the kids all about the camper. They unfolded it and opened it up and played in it, and I think had snacks, and then took it all down. Another father taught the kids how to fly fish. There was a father who was an African drummer, an entertainer, and he came and taught them about the different drums, the names, and gave them a chance to play it. There was a mother who was a watercolor artist, successful artist, and she came and taught the children some of the basics of watercolor painting. And so there again, through the opening up the doors of the school and the helping to create that sense of we're in this together, the curriculum was enriched, the families were felt important and relevant in the program and curriculum, and of course the program was much better, fuller, and very interesting, and again a powerful lesson for me. When I was an elementary principal, we had an early school meeting, and parents said, this is beginning to be the computer age, and we don't have much computer in this school. What are we going to do about it? So I said, what are we going to do about it? So with the help, with the motivation from the families, and with the help of the families and some community members, we were, by the end of that very year, we were able to introduce the rudimentary basic language to every child in the class, and they were able to make some things on, I think, early Apple computers is what we had. So for me, this is the kind of thing that we want to see. We want to know what's happening in your schools. We want to know what could be or should be happening. We hear about each other's stories. And of course, we will be requiring you to come up with a plan as one of the main assignments of this course. We are looking at the Canvas, which this course is organized around. This, if you've eyeballed this welcoming announcement on the home page, you'll already have seen, you've found this video, but you've already seen there's links to the syllabus. This class format is, of course, an online class. The content is the topics here as outlined and as I mentioned. Navigation is on Canvas, and if you are not familiar with Canvas, this video will help you see about ways it can be done. The course is driven off of modules. Every week, and just to reiterate, and we'll say it a number of times, each week in this course is 6 days. This course and a lot of our educational leadership courses are organized around 6 weeks, and for some reason we got placed in the 5-week schedule, so we had to collapse it a little bit. And actually, I removed some tasks and assignments in order to fit it in nicely. But that's why we have 6-day weeks and modules. There's an introduction to the syllabus in Module 1, including a video introduction that will help elaborate and explain it a little further. The modules are all the elements for a module are embedded in the module itself. That is an overview, resources that you are to read or explore, videos to watch, are all embedded, and then there are links to the discussions embedded in the modules, and as well as to the assignments embedded in the modules. So that's the basic of what we will be doing in this course. In the syllabus, again, we'll talk about it, and you can see the explanation of each of the assignments and why it fits into the theme. I'm very much looking forward to spending this time with you, hearing your stories. helping you and listening to your visions for how you can become even more impactful community leader and of course, a school educator. So, very pleased to be with you. I'm looking forward to our time together, and stand by for more information.